Okay, who's here for the first time? Put your hand up, please. Fantastic, thank you and welcome. And we hope you keep coming back. Right now, if you have not done it, if you'll pull out your cell phones, pull your phones out, and download the 1 Million Cups app, that will help us provide feedback to the presenters and also let you see who's here today. Okay, what we do here at 1 Million Cups is we've got two companies that are going to bring in their information and tell us what they do. They'll spend about 6 minutes each talking about their business, and then we're going to turn it over to our panelists, our expert panelists over here in the corner, and then to you, the audience. And so you want to hold on to some real good questions and whatnot. When it's your turn, please put your hand up and ask some good questions. Right now, we're going to let the panelists introduce themselves.
How we doing? My name is Brandon Simpson. I'm with Jazzy Bees, food truck first and the diner now, and the business of food trucks. Been here in Kansas City 7 years and year and a half and 3, so.
Thank you.
That was a quick intro.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna take up too much time.
And I got all day. For those who don't know me, my name is Burton Kelso. I own a tech company called Integral. We've been around 25 years helping people like yourself conquer their technology challenges. We provide on-site computer service, and we also do remote computer service here in the metro area, and we've got customers around the country. Thanks for having me here.
Fantastic, thank you. And real quick, I want to introduce the caffeinators. We've got caffeinators. They're men and women that volunteer their time. He's got his hand up right over here. Other caffeinators, put your hand up. These are people that are in the know. You can go to them and ask them whatever you want before, during, or after the meeting. All right, thank you. And then we're going to have our first presenter, Patricia McQuarrie with Margaret's Place. Get him.
Hear me? Yep, okay, awesome. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Thanks for having me. First of all, I'm Patricia McQuarrie. I am the founder and owner of Margaret's Place. This beautiful woman right here is Margaret. She was my grandmother. She suffered from dementia and Alzheimer's. It was about a 6 to 8 year fight with the disease. So I was unfortunately able to follow her from day one to the final day of that. We did a lot of research during this time because I took care of my grandmother. She lived with me for the first 3 to 4 years of this fight. And I did a lot of research during this time because I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never taken care of an elderly person before, but I did promise my grandmother when I was little that I would definitely take care of her if she ever got to that age. So I kept good on my promise. All the research that we did showed that the brain is a muscle, right? And you have to exercise. My grandmother exercised her body. She put good food in her body, so her body was strong. But after her husband died, she sat. After she retired, her husband passed. She sat in the house. She went to church on Sunday, but that was about it. So this muscle just kind of starts to deteriorate. We know as the rest of our body, we've got to exercise. So how you exercise the mind is when you're young, like right now, we're all in this room, we're exercising our minds, we're being around like-minded people, and we're working. But when you retire, you sit, so you no longer exercise your mind. So all the research we did showed that we need to find like an adult daycare or some kind of socializing activities for my grandmother to do so she could be around like-minded people, people her age, get out and have a good time. So we looked and we looked for a place. These are some of my participants at Margaret's Place. So a place where you can have fun. Here's some activities. We were putting out fires in the back, getting everybody a disaster prepared, certified for CERT. But we looked. We searched about 10 adult daycare facilities within about a 2-mile radius of 64131. And what we discovered was people were pretty neglected in a lot of these places. They smelled bad. The food looked disgusting. The people just weren't happy. And this is something that we found all across the board. Taking my grandmother to all of them, she was like, absolutely not. I'd rather sit at home and rot. She couldn't get past the adult daycare word, first of all, so that was our first hurdle, which is why we chose to call ourselves a senior rec and wellness center. But nope, grandma was like, nope, we're not going to any of those. So she sat at home and she suffered. The last 3 years of her life, she suffered in the fetal position, on bed rest. We had to blend all her food up in a blender and feed her through a syringe. She wore a diaper. We literally would have had to break her legs and her arms to straighten her body out. So it was definitely a horrible way to go. I did question God a lot during that time. Why not take her? She was miserable. But I understand now why God didn't take her. I had to learn the process. So what do? What can we do to change this? What we decided to do was build Margaret's Place. This is my daughter here. She helped us through the whole process. She can run the place better than myself. But we built Margaret's Place. Here is our construction stage. We decided to build a facility that was fun, full of life. There's my 3-year-old. He was 2 at the time. He's 4 now. In the box, they were putting the books on the shelves in the library. But we decided to build a place that was fun, full of life, energy, that had good food, where people were getting fed from the inside out. There's Miss Pinky. She's one of my participants. Love her to death. She's awesome. So there's Margaret's Place. This is where we were birthed. Here's our exercise room. We didn't see those in any of the facilities we visited. Everything that we put in Margaret's Place has my grandmother in mind. Here's our kitchen. Very clean, everything sanitized. There's no smell when you walk in the building. It smells really good. Mr. Curtis is one of our participants. He burns incense, so sometimes it smells like that. But here's our man cave. We made sure we had a fun place for the men to hang out. Women are allowed. You got pool tables, air hockey, just lots of fun in there. We do also have a garden center, a garden club. Everything in Margaret's Place is club-based. So our garden club, we harvest a lot of our own fruits and vegetables, and we eat those, and we put good stuff in our body. We don't serve anything processed in Margaret's Place, so it's all good stuff. Here's our library that my daughter was putting the books on the shelf at. And here's our fun movie theater. Had an idea for this room to be a real movie theater, and we figured out how to do that. So it looks like a real movie theater in there. It's lots of fun. And here's some of us. We do outings once a month. There's us at the lake, at the zoo. It was hard getting everybody on that sky lift, but we do a bucket list, and it was really hard. But we do a bucket list, and we knock those things off once a month, and it's just a place where you can just get out and start living life. There's Miss Mary with her fur coat entering in the building. Here's some fun pictures of them playing cards and pool and actually utilizing the facility. There's Mr. Curtis in the blue hat. We call him Papa Smurf. He runs our jewelry club, and he makes jewelry, and then he sells that stuff, and he keeps that for his pocket money. So that's a nice way to do that. Quilting Club does the same thing. They make quilts and sell them. So our future plans for Margaret's Place, right? Of course, we want to be across all the United States. God has given me the responsibility to change the way people perceive senior care. So all of us in this room can now be excited about what we're doing. We'll have nursing homes, we'll have assisted living facilities, we will have more daycares, and our plans are to go across the United States. Housing, we're working on housing right now. My husband is working on some housing for our elderly and disabled people, and then also some services for them. So that's kind of what we want to do in the United States, and then stretch that out worldwide, all right? So what can you guys do to help us? Because we need some help, especially being a new startup business. Marketing, we do need some help on marketing. I was talking to the young lady earlier. Our Facebook, we've been pretty active on. I'm good at posting those things, but the rest after that is a big blur to me. So I know we can beef our marketing up quite a bit. As of now, everything is word of mouth. We have recently, in the last 3 months, did an expansion and added another about 3,000 square feet to our facility, which upped our numbers. So we're no longer at 16, we now can accept 37, and we need to get 37. We actually need about 90 to 95 on our roster in order to fill our 37 slots. So I need more people. Definitely need help in the advertising and just talking about us. Word of mouth in 2 years has gotten us where we are now. Our first year we made 130,000, and our second year we made 200, and that's all from word of mouth. So I know if we can get more people to talk about what we're trying to do, this wave that we're trying to do across America and eventually the world, to just bring better care to seniors and people with disabilities, to let them know they're loved and let them know they can feel good, and give them a home away from home and clean environment, you know, in a place where people love you and care for you. So that's kind of our objective there. I just thought that was so cute with the little guy. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. I just thought he was cute, so I added him. All right, so that's us, Margaret's Place. We are working to change the way people view senior care, senior and disabled care. Here's our address if anybody wants to jot it down. And there's that beautiful lady again. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. We will start with questions from our expert panelists.
How you doing, Burton Kelso? My wife's in healthcare. In fact, she was a director of nursing at a long-term care facility. So my question is how are you handling, well, first you have trained medical staff in-house, and then also, how do you handle the issue of patient elopement? Because when you have people with dementia, Alzheimer's, you know, they want to elope. So how do you deal with those issues?
First of all, dementia and Alzheimer's is where my heart is, so that's what we know well. We are a new facility. We're recreational, not medical. There's two different types of daycares you can be in Missouri, so we chose to be recreational first and not medical. And unfortunately, the state doesn't require you to have any kind of nurses on staff, but after being open for 2 years, I do think this will be a requirement for Margaret's Place to have a registered nurse on staff. We do provide a lot of activities for all of our participants, those specifically with dementia and Alzheimer's. So we just keep their minds busy. We are a locked facility, so that keeps everybody in, but we just keep their minds busy with lots of activities. We go out a lot of stimulating things. We have a lot of hand and eye coordination activities that they can work with. So we keep them real busy. We keep their minds active, and we've noticed a huge difference from day 1 to 30 days of them being in our center, and their families have too. Your turn.
Okay. So in starting it, how did you guys come about filling up the slots as far as the folks that you're taking care of? Where did you get those folks, and how do you continue to grab more?
So what we did was literally put our shoes on and go inside of these facilities that house seniors and people with disabilities, and we just did presentations. And then I bus them over. We do have a bus that's handicap accessible, so we bus them over for what we call a free day, kind of try it before you buy it. So they come and eat breakfast with us and have lunch with us and do activities, and then if they like it, they sign up. We do bill Medicaid, so it's free if they have Medicaid, but that's what we've done, and put a lot of videos and pictures and things out on Facebook, but so far, that's what we've done to fill our slots. Need some help with the marketing to figure out what that next step is. What can we do to bring a bunch of people in? We've got an open house scheduled for the 24th of this month. It's also our 2-year anniversary, so we're gonna bus a bunch of people over for that, but that's what we've done so far, and that's why I need some help, extra help with that marketing, because that's just where we started, and that's all I got so far. Anybody else?
All right, we're going to turn it over to you guys for questions. Please get those hands in the air. I'm going to get us started. Patricia, I want there to be like 1 billion Margaret's Places around the world. I don't know how to make that happen, but I suspect one of the first steps is to write down all of your systems, and I'm curious where you are in that process. Do you document everything you do there?
Thanks for asking that. The idea my husband and I had when we started this journey, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, was to make Margaret's Place franchisable. So what we've done from day 1 to now is build a machine. And we are at the stages now where we just need to add the oil and the gasoline and do the maintenance work. So everything has been documented. Everything is 100% duplicatable. So when we do open our next Margaret's Place, it's in and out, train the new people, on to the next one. So there is a definite system that's been built from day 1 to make sure the transition is really smooth to opening those 1 million Margaret's Places.
Question in the back on the right, back here.
Yes.
Hi, nice job on your presentation. I want to say, just begin with, your heart is in exactly the right place for caring for these type of people. We've all probably been in these facilities that you walk in and it smells like urine, and it's just depressing, if not disgusting. So I want to commend you on that. Secondly, I'm curious if you are in network with any other providers outside of Medicaid, and if you plan on taking this concept and this thought process to residential care as well.
Yes, we do. We are actually actively trying to, it's not an easy process, but we're actually trying to get more providers on. Right now, we accept Medicaid and self-pay. We've just got bonded with the government and Department of Homeland Security to try to get some veterans in, because we've got a nice waiting list for those, but that's like a whole different world if you've ever tried to do that. So yes, we've got plans to add more providers. And the second part of that question? Yes. Yep. I actually am partnering up with a young lady. I'm all about partnerships in my community. So I'm actually working on partnering up with a young lady right now to do some home health. She's got an idea and a heart, but just needs some help getting it going. So yes, we are working on that, and nursing homes, and we want to do all of that. So yeah, thank you.
Question on your right.
Are you familiar with the Pioneer Network or the Culture Change Movement in senior care? There are thousands of people like you across the country that have joined what's called the Pioneer Network. It's been around about 15 years, and they're doing exactly what you're doing. There's a company called Action Pack Design based out of Kansas City that specializes in senior care architecture and design. And the state of Kansas and Wisconsin are the two leading states in this change movement. There are federal grants, there are state grants, and there's a lot of money and a power by a number. If you join that group and get involved there, you can be very successful. And there's a lot of hurdles already gone through that you wouldn't have to if you joined up with them.
Awesome. I'm hoping my husband's sitting behind you. I'm hoping you was jotting all that down. That's why you grabbed your phone. Thank you for the information. If you don't mind, if I can get your information afterwards, maybe just pick your brain for maybe 10 or 15 more minutes, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
We have a question back here in the back.
I commend you on what you're doing. It's very admirable. I happen to have a special passion and compassion for the elderly. I go out and sing karaoke for them occasionally, from music from the 1920s through the 1950s. They can't remember yesterday, but they can remember events that happened when they hear a song. There is a couple of items that I want to put to your attention. A computer center is a must, and there's a cognitive game called Lumosity that crosses over a whole bunch of areas of cognitive behavioral learning, and also that you set up a Facebook for each person, so that not so much so they can get to know and interact with the family, but so they can get to know and interact with themselves and see pictures on their own Facebook from their own past.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation to you.
Thank you for that.
Very good job.
And I'd love to have you for karaoke. So I'll make sure I get your information. I swear I would love to have you. We have a karaoke machine. We've been dying to get a hold to work out. So yeah, thank you.
Question in the center.
Hello, my name is Sharday, and I am actually a client of Margaret's Place. I don't have necessarily a question, but I do want to deliver a testimonial, provide you with a testimony. So Margaret's Place has been a life-changing facility for not only myself, but my father who attends. And if you are looking for, a place that will totally support your family and provide you with the services that are needed, Margaret's Place is a really special place for your loved ones. And this wasn't staged or anything. She didn't even know that I was coming. However, I attend these all the time, so she was like, oh, wow, you're here. But yeah, I just wanted to say that Margaret's Place is definitely a awesome, awesome place. I could say more, but I'm stumbled over my words right now.
What's funny, Sharday, her father is Mr. Bobby, and he came to me at about 8 months of us being open, and it was a rough time. And I asked God for joy, and he sent me Bobby, and Bobby just laughs. He had a traumatic brain injury, so he can't talk all the time. He's teaching himself how to do that, but he just laughs and laughs and laughs. So we love having Mr. Bobby and your families. Thank you, Sharday.
So building off that real quick, thank you so much for sharing. There's your marketing. What do you know about capturing those client testimonials and getting them out into the world in a meaningful way?
I saw Wes back there in the building. Hey, Wes. He has what's the name of your videographers, your vloggers? What's their names?
8080.
8080, thank you. I'm working with them now to kind of do something like that. So thanks for that, Kyle. We are actively trying to get some vlogging and people to follow, do some testimonials and things like that. So yeah, thanks.
Question up front.
Hey, Margaret, great idea, great presentation. I have a 97-year-old parent who is regressing in terms of his behavior into his childhood and getting him to do things is always interesting. So anyway, that's the background. Not clear to me, are you a profit or nonprofit?
We are a profit.
Okay. So you mentioned some numbers. Is that like your top line revenue? Okay. So tell me what those numbers you mentioned are. But what I'm trying to find out is how your business model works. Do you like have people come in on a daily basis for part of a day, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis? Is there like a subscription plan? So if you can fill in some of those.
Okay, all right. So we are Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, like when you go to school and you would send your children to daycare. We're daycare hours, okay? We are Monday through Friday, and some people come to us 1 or 2 days a week. Some people are with us 5 days a week, 10 hours a day. So we're open 10 hours. The numbers I shot out earlier were just our annuals, what we did the first year, what we did the second year. And, you know, of course, we want to grow more. Right now, at 30 people is kind of our number to hit. We're looking at $75,000 a month. Everything's coming through Medicaid right now. We have a couple people that are self-pay, and our self-pay rate is $10 an hour. It's the same that Medicaid bills. I know some facilities charge a little bit more for self-pay, but we keep it right at that cap. So, yeah, that's kind of where we are with that. Did I answer everything? Okay.
Question in the center.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
You answered one of my questions just now, but I'm curious, who are typically your influencers and who are your decision makers? You answered the payer.
That would all be me. Influencers is this lady right here.
Well, I mean influencers as far as making the decision to use your service.
Well, you mean as far as who may refer people to us? I know Medicaid, they're not supposed to, but they have referred a lot of clients to us, and I think it's just from visiting our facility and seeing the love that we have. Other than that, it's just the families, it's the people, you know, it's the people that we get out and talk to, it's the families that look at our Facebook page and watch our videos of all the fun that we have and all the crazy big kids that we have around Margaret's Place. So I would say that.
Thank you.
Up front on your right.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm wondering, do you provide services at Margaret's Place? Like, I know people might want to get their hair done or nails done or things of that nature.
Yep.
I'm a restorative practices practitioner, so any kind of group work, do you do that?
We do. Thanks for asking that, because first of all, we love volunteers at Margaret's Place. We do like a Make Me Over Monday once a month where we'll have beauticians and estheticians and, you know, people come to your feet and all that fun stuff. So we do partner with a lot of people in our community. Because we're a new business, we unfortunately don't have the funds to pull in as many people as I would like to. But we do offer physical therapy, personal training. We offer integrative wellness, life coaching, which is awesome. But I would love to partner up with you and see how we can help each other. But yeah, we're all about partnerships. We do an urban networking social every first Thursday of the month at Margaret's Place. And the idea is to build partnerships in our community. It's all entrepreneurs, you know, business-minded people, like-minded people that are just in a positive environment. It's all free, and we just build off of one another. So yes, I would love to partner up with you. Thank you.
Patricia, can you tell us about your team and what your next expansion will be on that front?
I've got a great team. We're family owned and operated. My husband, he works, he runs our bus. He drives the bus in the morning, in the evening. I have a best friend who's an integrative wellness life coach, who's my general manager, who I'm transitioning into being the director so that I can stop being a slave to my business and actually make the behind the scenes stuff work a little smoother. But the idea with this core group of people that have been with us since we've opened our doors is to replace them at our 72nd and Truce location, and we're looking into a new location over on the KCK side. I think they have like 2 daycares over there, and God gave me Leavenworth Road area, but we're gonna take this team that we have now and move them to the next location to train the new people and then just keep moving them around.
I guess this is on, sorry. So what efforts are you using as far as marketing? You talked about social media. Are you doing any print advertising, any TV ads? Can you expound on what you're doing to market your business?
We've done some commercial marketing or radio marketing. our commercial's been running for a couple of months on 95.3. We've done, of course, our footwork marketing, flyers. We do events, so we do a lot of open house events to bring people to, you know, getting into the communities where they are is kind of where we are. I know we need to beef our marketing up. I know that. It's just a matter of how do you do that with not having a big budget to do that with. So that's what we've done so far, but I know we need to beef that up quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, with a lot of small businesses, they have to turn to different forms of what's quote unquote guerrilla marketing. Have you investigated any of that? Like, for example, social media would be a form of guerrilla marketing. It's basically, rather than using your traditional marketing forms, you would turn to something that would be non-traditional that has a large reach. So you said you posted on social media. What social media platforms are you posting on?
Facebook. I was just talking to her earlier about that. I know we need to expand to more, but surprisingly, Facebook has brought us a lot. Yelp has talked to us about, you know, normally they charge people to advertise, but they've actually called us like, what are you guys doing? Because, you know, you're at the top of all the search engines. So I don't know. We've just been posting on Facebook. We've just been, you know, everything's word of mouth. So I don't know what's been getting us up at the top other than just more people need to see places like that, and we got God on our side. But guerrilla marketing is definitely what we've been doing because everything's just been on social media, and we post every day, you know, 2-3 times a day sometimes, depending on what we're doing. So we're always, and we post what they do. So people have enjoyed watching them, and they look forward to, if I don't post for a while, people are like, hey, where's the video for Mr. Curtis? Or have you guys did any air hockey tournaments? Or, you know, so I think we have done that. I've never done any research on it. I definitely will in the guerrilla marketing, but that's just what we've done so far.
I've got a question in the back on your right.
Good morning. Fabulous presentation, and your space speaks a lot to me. My father, who recently passed, could have really used a place like this because he did not want to sit in a nursing home.
Yeah.
So a couple questions, or actually thoughts I wanted to share. Strategic partnerships. He lived in public housing, and so connecting with some of the public housing areas where they're just kind of hanging out, maybe in the social areas, giving them an opportunity to go different places. Connecting with the whole person could be a really great opportunity. And with my own personal business, I would love to connect with you, but I'm gonna do a little plug for Casey SourceLink.
Yep.
Casey SourceLink, they can help you a lot with some of the
Love
things you're
them,
looking
love
for.
them.
So
Yep.
I'll be happy to connect with you afterwards, but really great. I love your passion about what you're doing.
Thank you. Look forward to talking to you.
Patricia, final question. What can we as a community do to help you?
Talk about us. You know, tell people about us. If you have a great business and you'd like to create a partnership, I'd love to partner with you. Join our Urban Network and Social, see what we're doing for our community, and talk about us, and tell your moms about us, and talk about us, and keep on talking about us, because that's worked so far. So did I mention just talk about us? Let everybody know about Margaret's Place and what we're doing. Follow us on Facebook, stop by for a tour, come volunteer your time. Find you a new grandma and grandpa, and just talk about us.
Thank you so much. All right, we're so happy you guys are joining us today. This is our first 1 Million Cups in February, and we're excited to celebrate Black History Month all February long by featuring Black founders here on the stage. I also want to let you know that on the last Wednesday in February, the 28th, in the evening, we will be having an extra special event where we'll have some 1 Million Cups presenters and also a Black-owned small business fair. You'll see the details run through up here. Please put it on your calendars, last Wednesday, 28th, in the evening. All right, let's do Mug Club. Can you please raise your hand if you've been to 1 Million Cups 10 or more times? Please put your hand down if you already have a mug. Billy is going to choose someone, and we're going to hand out a mug.
Please stand up, tell us your name and why you come to 1 Million Cups.
Well, my name is Jan Linhart, and I come to Million Cups to learn from you guys. I've been doing it for the last 6 months, either here or online. So if you miss the opportunity to physically come, do it online. I've just received my 501c3 not-for-profit, so I'll be able to assist the American veterans in improving their overall health. And as soon as I'm done with my website, I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. In the meantime, I am really in love with this organization. Thank you for providing this service.
And we're in love with you. We have a quick announcement from Stephanie Campbell with the Lean Lab. I meant that.
Hey, I'm Stephanie Campbell, and I'm the Director of Innovation Programs for the Lean Lab. The Lean Lab is a Kansas City-based nonprofit that builds communities in support of entrepreneurs founding transformational innovations in education in the K-12 space. We have a couple events coming up this week, which is why I'm here today, in addition to having the opportunity to meet a bunch of exciting entrepreneurial people like yourselves. Thursday night, if you want to be a part of that community that supports those education entrepreneurs, we convene people for a free happy hour, wine, beer, and appetizers. This Thursday, we'll be talking about how do we engage parents more effectively with students and teachers in the classroom. So you're welcome to join us there. And then Saturday, if you want to be one of those entrepreneurs building that next generation of innovation ideas, we have a workshop from 8 to 5 in design thinking to help support you create your vision for that next transformational education innovation in the K-12 space. So I'll tweet some details out and I'll tag 1 Million Cups. And also you can learn more about it on our website, theleanlab.org. Thanks, Kyle.
Just to make that crystal clear, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to fix the education system, the Lean Lab, the Lean Lab, the Lean Lab, do it. They're awesome folks. Let's have a very warm welcome for our next presenters, John and Jamie with Popcorn Heaven.
Pop into popcorn heaven, go to popcorn heaven. Don't fight the temptation, snacking's not a sin. When you open up a bag, a basket or a tin, from the heaven you don't have to die to get in. Pop into popcorn heaven for the flavor you're craving. The gourmet snack.
Thank you. We need to take them with us.
Popcorn heaven.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Jamie Tolbert.
And I'm John Tolbert.
And we are here from Popcorn Heaven, Kansas City. We're located in the Westport District, and we have completed our first year. We opened December 14th of 2016, so it has been a fabulous year for us. How many of you have heard of Popcorn Heaven? Awesome, awesome. So you know that we come with 50 divinely delicious flavors. What is our coin phrase when you receive your product at Popcorn Heaven?
Oh, really? I know you know.
I know you know. So our coin phrase is delivery all the way from heaven. So you can always hear that when you stop into Popcorn Heaven. But I want to give you a little background information. John and I, had a very diverse group of friends, and with diverse group of friends, it introduced us to many different types of food throughout the world. What we found is we would take 2 hours trying to figure out where we were going to eat, but we all did that over this favorable snack called popcorn, in which no one thought about, questioned, or turned away. They didn't say anything about it. It was just seamlessly fitting into the discussion. We didn't know at that time that an acquaintance of ours had that same thought and feeling that popcorn was such a universal treat. And she opened up a small shop in Waterloo, Iowa, and we just fell in love with it. After a lot of prayer and consulting with her and going back to our jobs, and consulting with her some more, we decided that Popcorn Heaven was so fitting to bring to Kansas City. And people say, why Kansas City? Well, Kansas City is where everything began for us. Our parents met here, my dad's family was here, my mom's family was here. It just felt that, why not? We have so much history here. Let's begin our futures here. So John and I'm a construction engineer. John is in human resources. We thought, well, hey, let's come together and merge our talents, and let's try our hand at popcorn. I believe with your ability to be able to do what you do and what I do, we should be able to do what we love most, and that is sharing popcorn, not just with our family and friends, but also bringing it to all of you and to the city of Kansas City.
Let me go. So one of the things that we had to look at is this particular market that we're in was basically the only thing that they had was like traditional flavored popcorn. And so we had to find favorable flavors that would pique the customer's interest year round. Many of you are familiar with some of the potpourris that are around here that the major push is usually around Christmas time with the refillable tins and things of that sort. But in order to compete on that level, we had to have something that would pique the interest of popcorn lovers year round. And so that is the reason why we thought that Popcorn Heaven was an excellent choice, because it had over 50 flavors and actually over 150 flavors to choose from. It's just 50 that we carry in-house every day. It's a small shop feeling with a corporate level marketability. So you're able to come in and have this small town shop feel, but still have that ability to have fundraising options, flavor options, customizing for your wholesale gift store. You can, I know with one of our wholesalers, they wanted to come up with a flavor and put their particular sticker on it, which we were okay with that, as long as it says made by Popcorn Heaven at the bottom. But there's not a lot of businesses that allow you to be able to customize your product like that. And we were able to do that. We also are able to host corporate and private events, everything from weddings to employee appreciation. Those are some of the things that we've done in our first year. We have customizable options such as custom coloring, flavoring that some people will come in and say, you know, you guys ought to create this particular flavor, and we'll go back in our lab and start putting some things together, and that's a featured flavor of whatever month. And then we send that customer a note to say, hey, thanks for that suggestion. We're presenting this flavor in September. And so having that little small town feel has made the difference here at Popcorn Heaven. So the problem in the market is what we noticed, that there was a lack of fundraising opportunities in this area. You could probably find some things nationwide or online, but you weren't able to customize that fundraiser, especially when we're dealing with schools. They got the major fundraiser opportunities, but it was only 20% or 30%. And with us, you can make up to in excess of 50% in your fundraiser. And so that really piqued the interest, especially with those nonprofits that just need help with partnering to create opportunities within their organization. And then the last piece is that online fulfillment, and that's dealing with wholesale fundraising and just the everyday customer that's coming to purchase from Popcorn Heaven.
So our product, again, we talk about 50 flavors. Part of what John was saying as far as our problem, what we didn't expect is when we opened our doors and we presented these 50 flavors, we got a lot of people that did like this.
There's no such thing as 50 flavors of popcorn.
And so we came up with the concept of just introducing our menu to them. So you'll often hear when you come into our stores, welcome to Popcorn Heaven. We have 50 flavors. And we just let them know, here's the way you should approach our menu. We have savory, we have sweet, we have specialties, we have our classic flavors. So if you're just coming in there, you're looking for low salt, light butter, we have that. If you're looking for dessert popcorn with candy bars and cookies and something named after pies, we have that. Picnic flavors or dessert flavors, we have that. So all of these flavors were available and made in store and for corporate and private customers as well. So you were just able to partake in flavors that you would never be exposed to before.
Our customer base it was pretty easy to recognize just because Popcorn Heaven was already in existence when we started. The difference was taking it from a small town market to a big town market. That's something that they did not have much experience with, and has created a learning curve even for us because we've had to branch out to other popperies to kind of get some consulting help in those areas. And so we found that our customer base, even throughout the year, school age, mid-career, moviegoers, sports fans, tourists, being in the heart of Westport District, we get a lot of people from those hotels that are just out walking Westport and have never been to Kansas City, or the businessman or businesswoman that is just there for a business meeting or conference that's walking up the strip and come by and soon develop a relationship where we end up sending popcorn to them from wherever they're from. So what makes us different? Our competitors, we have local, national, online, and online competitors. All of these, within the city, there's probably only one that had multiple options outside of your traditional caramel, butter, and cheese flavors. And from what I hear, I think about 2 weeks ago, they have closed their doors. So right now, we are one of 2 people that have multiple flavors outside of the basic 3 flavors. We recognize the wholesale option, and also the fundraising option was a competition thing because of the other popperies that were local, I don't believe any of them at the time that we started were offering fundraiser opportunities to other organizations.
John, forgive me, I'm going to jump in. Just so we have plenty of time for questions, let's go ahead and take it home.
Yay!
All right.
And we'll turn it over to our expert panelists for questions.
First.
Oh, okay. So in a nutshell, like we said, we have 1 million flavors, and we've experienced a lot this year. And one of the key points that I wanted to talk about as I was speaking with Jamie, because it's an organization that started in the small town and we're now coming into the big town. I think there's only one other Popcorn Heaven nationwide that's in, I believe, the Charlotte, North Carolina area that has a similar market as this. And so we're faced with some issues of marketing. We're faced with issues of branding in a large city market. One thing that we've noticed is small town, they're really big with festivals. Here in the larger cities, just like Charlotte, they're big with wholesaling. And so that's one kind of tweak that we had to make in coming into this. And so we would be looking to you for direction and insight and any questions that you may have to kind of get the ball rolling into what you think that we could do to push us further into this Kansas City market.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. My first question is going to be, why didn't you guys bring samples? Because in my mind, no, I'm not saying that I want free popcorn. In my mind, all I'm thinking is caramel, cheddar, and plain popcorn from a barrel of Topsy's popcorn. So if your popcorn's that spectacular, I've got to taste it. And if I taste it and I'm blown away, then I'm going to tell my friends and they're going to come get it. I mean, one of the best examples is Osceola cheese. People drive all the way down to Osceola to get Osceola cheese, and because it's that spectacular, and they have a concept similar to yours. So, my suggestion would be anytime you could get out to events like this, bring samples, because in my mind, I'm just thinking popcorn, but obviously you offer a product that's beyond popcorn, so.
So I've had Popcorn Heaven in Waterloo. I'm from Waterloo as well, okay? And I've had it here. So it is good popcorn. Now, what I would ask is, how did you guys come up with the flavors, okay? Because some of them are different than what was up in Iowa. Is it you? Who comes up with your, who plans the recipes for your popcorns, and how do you take those to market to certain areas, certain customers? I know for myself with Jazzy Bees, I do a lot of different dishes. I'm not just a barbecue joint. I do seafood. I do a lot of different things. I cater to vegetarians. I've heard that before. I've heard that before. So what is it that sets you guys apart, and how do you tackle those? So that's kind of like 3 questions, but how do you look to tackle those?
We learned that from all of you. When we tackled this area, we noticed that we had a lot of pro teams. We had a lot of big events like the Sprint Center. We had a lot of hospitals. We were in an area that was so diverse. So we looked at savory and we wanted to approach it and say, hey, we want to do some picnic flavors. We want to do some tailgate flavors. We want to do hors d'oeuvre flavors. So when that wedding comes in or when that corporation comes in, they're able to identify and then know exactly what they're gonna taste. It should taste like a hot wing, it does. Loaded baked potato, does taste like a loaded baked potato. We wanted to be able to identify with some of the chain restaurants here. You get a loaded baked potato from Outback Steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse. So being able to line that up with what we saw here. Barbecue, we just didn't know who to mimic. So we just leaned back on good old Frito-Lay and came up with the flavor that mimicked the Frito-Lay potato chip. But we looked to our customer base and we talked about it with them. Avalanche, that was recently added to our menu, and that was with our collaboration with the hospitals. Talking to them about, hey, Jamie, that's great. Everything is wrapped in chocolate. Whoa. But for my diabetic, can we have something just a little bit on the lighter side that is not full of sugar? And so we went back to the drawing board, and it's a drizzle. So we added some more drizzle options so they're not just fully coated. So we really looked at the menu and listened to our customer. Peach cobbler, sweet potato pie. Those are things that were added once we got into the Kansas City market because we were listening to our customer base. Brew mix, UMKC mix. No.
We got a question down front.
Yes, I think you did an excellent presentation, and it shows to me how tremendously organized you are, not only in presentation, but that probably goes through your entire business. What I'm wondering is about freshness of popcorn. Do you make it daily, or do you have the basic stock and then you add to it as customers come in? How does that work?
So,
please.
So we do carry all 50 flavors in-house. There is a life expectancy to the various categories. So your savory category, we do have sealed bins that we put them in after we make them. So the savories, which are like your loaded baked potatoes, Southwest hot wings, and things of that sort, can last up to about 12 to 14 days. They don't, but they can last. They can last that long. And I haven't seen one go over probably 4 days.
Right.
They're in, fresh containers that are sealed and they're kind of like vacuum popped, and so they last a long time. Our sweet and our chocolate can last up to 4 to 6 weeks. They don't last that long, but they can last that long just because they're wrapped in, they're coated with sugar, they're wrapped in chocolate, and so it's a pretty long life expectancy.
Question back here, way in the back.
A couple of comments. So is this a franchise that you all are trying to license, or you've bought the franchise? I didn't quite understand that part. And a couple other questions and comments. You mentioned that the Kansas City is a big area. It is a big area, but if you look at all the different small cities that comprise Kansas City, every little city has a fair, a carnival, whatever, something along those lines. I would make that comment to look at that. And I forgot what my other question was. So
the franchising, did you want to answer that? Or?
Either way, yes, we do have the capability to branch out and franchise. We bought into a license group and have the capability of rolling out additional popcorn heavens.
All right, we got a question in the back.
Actually, more a recommendation than a question for health people, nuts like myself. One way you can separate yourself is to have all your popcorn be non-GMO. Number two, what you can do is use Himalayan pink salt or Redmond salt, so it becomes a nutrient. And number three, experiment with a sweetener such as monk fruit or other monk fruit or stevia or xylitol or something like that. So you come out with a sugar flavored that does not raise your blood sugar. That's my recommendation. That should separate you from the rest.
Yes, sir.
We've got another question back here for you.
I'm curious about your wholesale perspective and like kind of what you guys are doing with that. You mentioned that you're sort of white label popcorn in the sense that brands can come in and put their own label on it, right? Obviously giving you credit and that kind of stuff. So has that been a major focus for you guys this year? Actually, I talked to you several months ago at a happy hour and you were kind of just kicking off. So I'm curious to see kind of what's been going on over the last few months and what that's been looking like for you guys.
Well, like we said, like we found out that wholesaling is major, even more than festivals. And the issue is coming into this market, and Kansas is different than Missouri, when you're dealing with festivals and the health department and getting a permit. It's almost not worth it past marketing. I mean, if it's something that is a huge opportunity for marketing, it's the only time where it's really, really worth it, because there's times where you can be invited into an event for 4 hours and they're asking a $650 setup fee. There's no way we could recoup that kind of money, and here in Kansas City, there's something going on every week. And so we have to be very wise about that. And so we then decided to do more of the wholesale market, and that's one of our goals this year is to add additional. Right now we're in St. Luke's, KU, and Children's Mercy hospitals. And so we found that has been a really good merger. We plan to add additional hospitals. We've also already tapped into an additional 7 of them in the area. So that's our goal, is to acquire more in that area. We're also looking into doing convenience stores, but the area for that is, in our hospital markets, we have the capability to seal, but we're needing some more connections with distributors that will allow us to be able to have a higher production as far as sealing our product and things of that sort. It's to do it on the magnitude that we want, we need to be connected to more of a distributor to assist in that.
And packaging. So that is what we would be in need of. I know we've been asked to do like vending machines and things like that, but that would mean we would need some advice, some guidance on packaging and mass distribution.
Question on your right.
Do you guys ship it all? Like, can I go to your website and order popcorn and it be shipped to me, one? And then the second question is, do you guys ever do like vendor shows? Because I know that's a great way to get those free samples and for people to hear about you.
Yes, we have some staples that we do every year. One of those is Jazzu. It's very successful for us, especially as a new company. We also did the bridal fair. A lot of weddings came out of that. As far as letting them know that we do have 50 flavors of popcorn, and we're able to sell them in bulk sizes. So we offer 7 sizes, and I think that is appealing. And your other... Online, yes. We do have the capability. We shipped as far as Japan, so we do have the capability of shipping. One of the challenges is we do need some help with our website. It is... different when you're marketing. It's different for popcorn because we have 50 flavors, and putting it in terms where you understand that every flavor has a different type of seasoning and is different price, and adding that to this and this, it becomes very cumbersome and time consuming. And so we're looking for that a way to communicate it very quickly and easily. And so we're looking for help for that. Right now, our store is having to perform that marriage ceremony between the online store and getting it out the door with UPS. And so we want that to be a seamless operation, just like you would order on Amazon, is being able to select the button, you choose who you want to send it through, and then all we get is the order and fulfillment in one step. Right now we're having to make that marriage happen. So that's one of the things that we would be seeking advice from our community.
Question on your left.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm great. I just want to let you know I'm like sold on popcorn right now, and you're in the Westport, right? Like I will be there today, and I don't even eat sweets, so you sold me. I'm just gonna make it short. You know, with your marketing and things on trying to expand what you guys said. I sent you guys a couple tweets already, and I just reach out and talk to you, but I think I can help you a little bit with that mentality on how to try to get it out there, because all I've known is Topsies my whole life, and right now you guys just sold me. So I would love to just conversate with you, but keep doing what you're doing, and these presentations with samples would be excellent.
We're sorry.
All right, question on your right.
Hi, my name is LaQuina Bowden, and I just had a quick question, well, two of them. As a native of Kansas City, I remember going to Green Mills Factory as a kid. Have you guys ever thought about having a classroom or a couple kids from a school come and just look around and maybe put on something and start making popcorn and maybe teaching them just the entrepreneurship of what you guys doing? So that's question number one. And then the other question is, have you guys ever thought about expanding and maybe offering maybe like a local tea or something to get like an hipster crowd in there to like what you guys have? Those are just two thoughts. I'm just curious what you guys think about that.
Yes, we have had as young as 6 to 26 in our store, where we have opened up to the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, Life Church, different vacation Bible schools. We do have to be careful because, they're not able to operate our equipment, and it's not a safe place to be. But we have brought them through our store and given them the opportunity to handcraft some of the flavors, so to speak. And then and a history about the beginning of popcorn and what flavor it is that they're creating. As far as a meet and greet, we did several of those meet and greets. I would say more towards the opening of our store, where we would go in, and I think we did more with the local school and a few churches, faith-based organizations. Where we just brought in and created a popcorn bar setting, where we just sit down and chat it, make sure they introduce them to our 50 flavors: loaded baked potato, grape, Kansas City mix, red hot cinnamon cheese and caramel, banana pudding, strawberry cheesecake. Those are just some of the flavors, lemon meringue pie, and just open them up to those flavors just over just happy hour.
Regarding the merger, your second question, we have discussed that. The first year we thought that the 50 flavors would be just a little overwhelming, so we just wanted to introduce that to people and just see how that went. There's various divisions of Popcorn Heaven, so they have the candy side, they have the fudge side, they have the candy nut side, and some of those are some of the things that we're going to be rolling out this year. With our gift sets, we have merged with a local gift set creator. So she actually operates her business because we love the partnerships. We didn't want to be in the gift basket creation business. But we leaned on her. She came in and she said, you guys, this would be great for my business. This would be great for your business. And we set up a meeting, talked about it, and now her gift sets are in our shop. And we just split the proceeds and things of that sort. So we're open to mergers if it fits in line with our goals and what we're headed towards in the future.
All right, last question. What can we as a community do to help you? Besides eat your popcorn, because we'll all do that.
Well, the biggest thing, just like Margaret Place was saying, is telling your family and friends about Popcorn Heaven. We are in the Westport district. We chose that area because it does attract all different types of people from different places. So just sharing our popcorn with your family and friends, coming down and tasting it. We do give you an opportunity to sample. The other thing that we need advice on is rolling out those next stores, rolling out in different areas, even across state lines. We would also like advice on accounting and bookkeeping for those type of adventures that we could probably, the ventures that we could go get into. Mass production, being in a state or being in a city like this, it's not the 100 bag orders, 200 bag orders, it's the 7,000 bag orders. It's I have a conference, I need 10,000 bags, I need 14,000 bags. And you know, being able to be in a store to increase the longevity because you have the right packaging and you can get it there on time and be able to deliver quarterly or monthly or however. Being able to be in a vending machine. I know we've gotten some people that request, even when we do gift shops, we would like to have the capability to have adequate packaging, proper sealing, distribution to that, not just in the Kansas City area, but as we start to grow. Marketing,
yes.
Advertising, not the traditional, we have the social media down pat, but I think what we need from the community is there's opportunities for radio, TV isn't lost, and billboards. There's things that our customer base is not always on Facebook, it's not always on Twitter, and we'd like to reach those that would be the one that sees it in the hospital or sees it as what they're walking down the plaza or whatnot.
And the other piece is, as we're looking to expand, just that consulting ability to be able to have someone to bounce some things off. What are some things that we are not seeing as we're looking to expand and grow? What questions should we be asking? You know, what are we missing, if anything? So those are the kinds of things, is, you know, being connected just to the mind. It's not necessarily what you can tangibly give, but any advice that you can give based on your experience or someone that you may be connected to that would be able to offer a greater understanding as we're trying to move forward in the future.
Awesome. Thank you. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for this week, but next week we will have T-Shirt King and MD Home Care presenting, and if the presenters and experts could come up here for a photo before you get bombarded with questions, that'd be great. See you next week.